Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is April 7th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a Trump dissolution of presidency event on the date of Wednesday, April 8th of 2026, specifically to spawn the presidency of one J.D. Vance or Barack Hussein Obama. The date of April 8th is obviously 4/8, which is indicative of both J.D. Vance, who would become the 48th President of the United States on the date of April 8th of 2026, and Barack Hussein Obama, who is born on the 8th of the 4th of August, so 8/4 or 4/8, depending on how you square it. So this is numerologically sound for them to bring about the presidency of one J.D. Vance or Barack Hussein Obama on this particular numerology. So as I'm going to lay out in this video, I believe that the CIA has drafted a 6-point plan, which is reflected in the 6-pointed Star of David, which is found on the flag of Israel, whose Israeli Mossad is in Washington, D.C. as we speak, getting ready to obey orders from Geneva, Switzerland. And they are going to execute a 6-pronged plot to remove U.S. President Donald J. Trump from power on the date of April 8th of 2026. Firstly, they are planning to suicide U.S. President Donald J. Trump. This has been going on for weeks now. This is one of the reasons why the Iran war was started in the first place. And why? Because the CIA controls Iran just like they control Israel. They're making it impossible for Trump to make headway in this particular war because everybody is backstabbing and betraying him. And so this has created the pretext for Trump to commit suicide under the guise of losing the Iran war, being unable to open the Strait of Hormuz, or failing to negotiate a peace treaty or a ceasefire with the Iranian government. Trump's popularity is falling and is now down to a 53% negative approval rating, and he is been threatened or forced to, or is otherwise issuing offensive tweets which are threatening war crimes against the Iranian people. And this all appears to be growing frustration by the president with this ongoing war and the inability to resolve it with any sort of meaningful outcome. And that is being all orchestrated by the CIA in Switzerland to basically to build the frustration and the anger up, and then they plan to suicide him. Option B is impeachment. So the House, the Senate is going to vote, likely in a top secret vote that's overseen by United States Supreme Court Justice John Roberts. They'll likely impeach Trump for war crimes against Iran, for crimes related to the Epstein files, and or conduct unbecoming of a president. That being said, I just published reports regarding the 6,200 transactions worth $580 million, which were put on the stock market, or I should say, let me read it verbatim here. Basically, let's see here. So 6,200 Brent and West Texas intermediate future contracts valued at $580 million, which were placed on the morning of March 23rd of 2026. So this is the so-called insider trading, the red-handed. So these Donald J. Trump threatened to attack Iran's oil and gas-related infrastructure, and then roughly 15 minutes later, 6,200 transactions worth $580 million had been placed on the aforementioned futures markets in respect to oil. This is because the CIA has real-time, let's just say they have everything that you see on your computer, they see everything that you say on your phone, they hear, and they have also satellite tracking and unbelievable surveillance via satellite in real time. So the minute that Trump leveled this tweet, they ordered all of their minions in Washington, D.C. to place future bets so it looked like insider trading. So this is how they're planning to basically frame the president for allegedly cashing in on this event. So this is likely how they're going to impeach the president on the date of April 8th or at a later date. Okay, option C is they're going to invoke the 25th Amendment. So this has been floated by numerous people, the latest of which is former U.S. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, and multiple people are now in the media floating the idea of invoking the 25th Amendment, stating that Trump is unfit to serve, that he is mentally unfit, that he has gone senile. Alex Jones, who we all know is a CIA operative, he's been floating the idea that Trump has suffered some sort of a brain aneurysm or a stroke, or that he is possibly being poisoned. And this is all designed to create this, for lack of a better term, fog of war regarding Trump's mental state. And so that they could do this. This is the least likely of the 6 that I'm going to list, but it is a realistic possibility at this point in time. Option D is to arrest Trump for Security and Exchange Commission's related crime, possibly in respect to the aforementioned Texas oil futures. There's also been a number of insider trading in respect to polymarkets such as Kalshi and Polymarket, which Trump has actually a relationship with the owner, from what I was reading on Wikipedia. And so there are people that are betting on certain things in respect to the war, and they'll probably try to link it back to Trump at or one of the Trump family members at a future date. Option E is what they tried yesterday on April 6th of 2026, which is they're planning on staging a Israeli Special Forces coup d'etat in Washington, D.C. That is why, as I've stated previously, that is why ICE is wearing masks, and that is why the soldiers in Washington, D.C. are wearing masks, because they're going to bring in the Israeli Mossad with masks on. This is likely how the notion of masks originally started, probably back in the Roman times when they had a foreign occupation come in, and so they had to have everybody wear masks, likely under the guise of some sort of airborne pandemic. And that's where we are now in American history, is they are going to bring in literally 25,000 Israeli troops, all Jews and Israelis, wearing masks, and they're going to seize control of the United States government. We're going to see this happen very shortly, if not on April 8th, and we're going to see it happen in real time. They've already staged this, so that's the reason why the CIA created this unbelievable atmosphere of crime in Washington, D.C. It was to piss Trump off so that he would bring in the National Guard. The National Guard comes in, they're wearing masks, then the ICE guys are wearing masks, and that's all cover because they're going to bring in 25,000 Israeli forces that were activated during Operation Breaking Dawn, and they're going to seize control of the capital of the United States, namely Washington, D.C. and the greater national capital region. After this attack on the Capitol, they're going to blame United States Armed Forces, active duty. They're going to blame retired military personnel, veterans of the Vietnam War, or they're going to blame a foreign power such as China, Iran, or Russia. Also, Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, ISIS, the Taliban, Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, Hezbollah, etc., 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 also could be scapegoated. That being said, with the ongoing war with Iran, the IRGC and the Quds Force are the most likely scapegoats. Lastly, option F is a direct assassination of Donald J. Trump in Washington, D.C. on the date of April 8th of 2026, which will likely be scapegoated onto Iran or some trans shooter. In reality, this is going to be an Israeli sniper. So just to recap, the CIA has developed, I believe, as evidence here in this video, a six-pointed plot to remove U.S. President Donald J. Trump from power on the date of April 8th, thereby spawning the presidency of one J.D. Vance or the political resurrection of one Barack Hussein Obama. And this includes a suicide assassination, an impeachment by the House and or Senate, a 25th Amendment invocation, arrest, coup d'etat, or some sort of an assassination event. So obviously if this happens, if this transpires in reality, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.